Welcome back to the Solid Over Social Podcast. It's your boy KG Nasa.
Shell.
Jones.
And we back, man. Back in a place to be. All right, man. We got a couple of topics on here. Hopefully we get some input from y'all, from the audience. You know, we're going to share our thoughts and our opinions with y'all. First up, I saw something on Facebook. I believe it was yesterday. I don't know, one of these days I'm scrolling down the timeline. But I saw some shit. It was a dude on there, and he was pretty much saying fairy tales and superheroes pretty much kill relationships. And to break down what he was pretty much saying was all the things that you're told, like as far as like, oh, your knight in shining armor is gonna come, like, oh, don't date a guy who doesn't open the door for you, like all of these things like set these expectations in your life, and then when you get that, you move a certain type of way, either a good way or a bad way. Now, one of the stories that he used was a girl. She met a guy, and you know she was attracted to him and whatnot. But he asked her out, and when he asked her out, he opened the car door for her. You know, so she had been out on many a dates, and dudes wasn't opening the car door for her, so she wasn't giving him no play type shit. So this nigga opens the car door. You feel me? So he got rewarded, you know, with some play. At the end of the day, he hit it, quit it, you feel me, and never called, no nothing type shit, you know what I mean? Like, so she probably passed up on a nice gentleman who just wasn't taught, you know, to open up the car door. You know, he's probably taught a whole bunch of other things, you know what I mean, that he could bring to a relationship and that he could, you know, bring to a woman and whatnot. Just opening the car door just wasn't one of them, you know what I mean? So he had that story right there. He also had another story about a personal story about himself, to where he asked a young woman out, and after the date, the next day he called her. She didn't respond. 4 hours later, he calls her again, see if she was less busy. Still no response. I guess he gets a hold of her later on that night, and she tell him, this is like in the Destiny's Child era type. You know, so she told him, like, you a bugaboo, dude. Like, you know, you ain't heard the song. Like, you calling me all the time. Damn. You feel me? Like, I ain't answered. You are supposed to wait for me to call you back before you call me again. You know what I mean? He didn't know that. He was just trying to show interest.
Right.
You know, like when you want a job,
right,
you're supposed to
make sure
call
she
the job,
too,
see what's up, see if anybody else filled the spot, the application. Right. Go in there, ask to speak to the manager. You got to show interest if you actually want the job. So,
facts.
That's what he called himself doing, you know what I mean? But she told him he was a bugaboo. So not only did she not get to date a guy who actually cared about him, she did end up calling him later on to see if he could take her back out. He decided not to.
Man.
But not only did that happen, he changed his approach with women.
Oh, fucked him up. Though.
You know what I mean? Like, so from now on, when he decided that he liked the girl, you know, he dialed it back on him. You know, so because he didn't want to seem lame or seem too aggressive. And what does that cause? That causes a woman to be like, man, you ain't even feeling me like that. You don't call me. You don't check up on me. Like, you feel me? That lets you leave the door open for other people to take the position that you trying to get. All type of shit. So, I mean, how y'all feel about that? Anybody, whoever ready.
I kind of agree with his logic about fairy tales and things like that. However, I think that like the fairy tales kind of go both ways. So like they're just talking about the mass majority, but like for instance, you have like those fairy tales like Brave. You have those fairy tales like, you heard of Brave?
The cartoon, animation.
Yeah, the animation Brave. Okay.
Heard of it.
What about Milan?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So in those specific fairy tales, women were doing whatever they had to do to better themselves and to just live their own lives and figure out what made them happy, and the man kind of just came along. So it's like, oh, like you didn't have a man before, but now I'm on this journey of self-love. I'm figuring out what I want to do with my life, and now I got it. Now this man is interested, so now it's a fairy tale at the end. Does that make sense? Not all of them are just like, oh yeah, true love's first kiss is gonna break the spell, and now the bitch is awake, and now life is grand. So I mean, I do kind of agree with that, because it does like put a narrative in a woman's head that, you know, they have these expectations of a man because of like what they've seen in fairy tales or whatever the case may be. But that kind of goes both ways for men, because it seems like if you're taught as a woman to kind of like behave a certain way, or like maybe you're not like what they call them toxic, or you're not like crazy, so you don't go off or do all these crazy things. Men usually tend to go for the toxic females before they go for the civilized females.
Right.
In my personal opinion. So I mean, I do get the logic, and I slightly do agree, because I feel like, you know, all these things were.
But it ain't no fairy tales about no ratchet woman getting no man or nothing like, or no man. It ain't even no fairy tales about men finding the right queen or a woman or nothing like that. Like, it ain't based off that. Is, in my opinion, my perspective, and it's all subjective. Like, we all look at movies and we all look at pictures and we all see different things. But
right.
At the end of the day, it's all catered to young princesses finding their kings.
Right.
You feel me? Like,
right.
At the end of the day, and it's supposed to be this super handsome dude with a nice jawline, you know what I mean, with everything already going for himself, you feel me, that's supposed to come sweep you off your feet.
Right, every time.
You feel me, that those that treats a woman, you feel me, that worships the ground that she walks on, you know what I mean? And so I believe that little girls are raised up looking for that, you know what I mean? And then it ain't going down.
Yeah, that's true. My favorite fairy tale is one that was more realistic to me. I mean, granted, it's cartoons, so obviously there's things that aren't realistic. But like Princess and the Frog is my favorite fairy tale.
Oh.
And that one, she wasn't a princess, like, you know what I mean. Like, she had to work hard for everything that she had, and love was presented right in front of her, but in front of both of them. But they both were so focused on what they wanted and not focused on what they needed.
Right.
That was like the best message of a fairy tale to me personally. So,
see,
but I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, I agree with him too. You feel me? Because a lot of shit is based off experiences. You feel me?
Right.
And a lot of shit that we go through, that's what we really see the truth behind shit. Like, if our parents is raising us, trying to tell us this is how a person should be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing that they're scoping what they feel that an individual should be. Like, this is that's their perspective. This is the parents' perspective, trying to, you know, put that on you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come up with that fairy tale shit, that's your first time feeling like, damn, I'm lied to. You feel me? Like, damn, like, I followed the rules. You know, I did everything that it said was supposed to happen. The man that does this for me, open this car door, do, and I got played. You feel me? But that's something that, a dynamic that's been going on for a long ass time, especially for the men. Like, niggas don't want to call nobody no more. They don't want to reach out to no female. They don't want to express how they feel to a female, because nowadays shit is a joke. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker want to use a thirst cloud. You know what I'm saying?
Like it.
You thirsty.
Yeah, you thirsty. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Fall back, and it's like we came into a world to where individuals want what they can't have. Like, we fall in love with that shit. A motherfucker don't even like your ass. You want to be following behind that person, trying to be with that person. But anybody that show interest, you start losing interest. You feel me? So yeah, this shit's the asshole backwards. So I do, you know what I mean? Shit, we can blame it on these fairy tales. Fairy tales bullshit. It ain't gonna happen. This is a real life.
Yeah, but it's not just fairy tales though, too.
What is it?
I mean, I'm just.
Like you said, the music.
It's the
I don't want no scrubs.
It's the music.
Bugaboo. Use a bugaboo.
Hey.
Fucking goddamn. What else? It's a gang of the motherfucking
It's a
shits.
lot.
But at the end of the day, what it is people buying into the world and being social instead of being
Yes,
solid
exactly.
to themselves.
Right.
That's what it is. You feel me? And people liking on people, but they playing chess. Like, I can like a girl and she can like me too, but we sitting up there trying to make sure
Right.
the other one don't know
Right.
if I like how
this.
much I like her, or
Right.
you feel me, like, or
Right.
vice versa. Like, so I'm not gonna do this shit, or I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna be the first one to say I love you. You feel me? Like, all little weird ass types of little chess games and shit that we play with each other to keep from finding who you're really supposed to be with.
Yeah.
Pass up a lot of motherfuckers on that.
You doing all of that shit, and then that person really like you, but you being so cold and so prideful and so standoffish. You know what I mean? They be done moved on to the next person.
Right.
You feel me? That's showing them the type of love that they feel that they deserve while you over there playing chess.
That's it.
I think that comes from. I think that comes from the movies. And when I say fairy tales, I'm not just talking about cartoons. I'm not just talking about, you feel me, fucking Beauty and the Beast and shit like that. I'm literally talking about, like, the shit that we see on TV.
Yeah.
The shit that we're told, you feel me, by our parents that are unrealistic, that when you grow up you see that you didn't even get that. Or
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
you never found that, or
Right.
you feel me, my dad didn't do that for you. You feel me, or stepdad, or them last 4 niggas that have been through this motherfucker. Whatever your case may be, you feel me? Like what the fuck? I've been lied to. I've been lied to. You feel me?
I do. I mean, sometimes I'll be watching movies and I just be getting like, me personally, I don't like too many romantic movies because I just feel like some of that shit is fake.
Man.
I feel like a lot, not saying that a lot of the things in those movies can't happen. I just feel like they need to pretty much cater to what is really going on in this day and age. Yeah, because like it does leave you with expectations that sometimes are possibly unrealistic in the situations that we're in, and you know the way that people think and the way that people operate, you know, nowadays. But
motherfuckers be laid up with their couple and some shit will come on TV and they be like, look, babe, see, even they know. Even he get treated like that, you feel me? Like, how come you don't get it? Like, it's a movie, you feel me? Like, but at the end of the day, they base movies off reality, so you can't take some shit from there, but you feel me? You at the end of the day, you gotta remember it's a movie.
Yeah, and then you're not the person in the movie. You guys are completely different. You don't behave the same. You probably don't look nowhere near the same. That's a shallow thing to say, but it's just realistic. You don't think the same. You don't have the same circumstances. Like, it's completely different. So like, try not to base your life on movies because it's just not real.
Yeah, realistic. I used to do that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to watch a lot of movies and watch a lot of, especially the family sitcoms on how family's supposed to be and how you supposed to get the girl. And I used to do all that shit. That's when I realized that movies was full of shit. I used to do it all, you feel me? You know, talk, make it happen. But, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you start thinking hard about reality. You know, my uncles always say, you fuck with a motherfucker that like you. If you like them back, then go ahead, make it happen. But this is my shit. I got a question for y'all. You know what I mean? How everybody's projecting this love and how a good relationship is supposed to be an individual. Like, what is the type of advice you would give to your kids? You feel me? You feel me? You know what I mean? When it comes to, you feel me, like love and finding love and the reality of the shit and trying to steer clear from this movie shit and TV reality shows.
I'll just tell mine is to find somebody who respects you, who you have fun with, and who you feel good around, who makes you feel good. At the end of the day, like those is a lot of key components as far as like finding somebody that you can be with.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like you could have 2 of them and be missing one, and you know what I mean? You got to keep searching.
Yeah.
You got to keep searching. You got to have all 3 of those components.
You're worth it.
I mean, that was hard. I just feel like you gotta just to take points from what you just said, because I agree with those 3 things that you mentioned. But like, you also have to figure out who you are as a person and where you want to go in life.
Right.
Because your significant other can be hindering you from where you really want to go in life. So you don't want to be with somebody just to be with somebody. You want to be with somebody that you can build with. Like, it's always, the point is to do better than what you did yesterday. So to always keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And if you're with somebody who makes you feel like you're going to just be stuck where you are, that's probably not, you know, where you want to be. If you know, especially if you've mentioned it before, you try to work it out, and you know, communication is key. And if y'all still in the same place, then that person's probably not for you.
Right. So, you know, just like an interview, I'm going to take off the 2 people that spoke for me. History component, you feel me? And that, you feel me? So, yeah, like, I'll say all that shit too, and I will go with, you know, be yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you're you. And a person should fall in love with you. I'm not talking about the weird shit that you got some flaws and some, you know, everybody got them, but you got that toxic shit that's bad, you know, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about be you. You know what I mean? Don't change yourself, you know what I mean, to cater to another person's feelings. Don't dim your light to let another motherfucker shine a little brighter than you. You feel me? You gotta, you know, do that shit and be happy. You know what I mean? That's the end goal. You know what I mean? Shit ain't perfect. It ain't gonna be perfect. But at the end of the day, before your ass go to sleep, your ass is happy. You still love the motherfucker. You feel me? And he still treating you right. You know, and then go ahead.
You got a winner.